All right, just getting set up here. Let me make sure that everything is connected and that the stream is going out to all the peeps. Before we go ahead and get started, no, it is not made for kids. This is not for your children. So please do not send your children. Is this even set up? I don't think I'm gonna send. I don't think I'm gonna send links out. I think I'm just gonna let it ride the way it is, and we'll just work off of that. So welcome back everyone for another Rough Reviews. It's been a while, I know. The last time I saw on here that I did a rough review for all the book, movie, TV show kind of reviews and stuff was like September, the end of September, early October. So it's been at least like a month. So let's go ahead and get another one underway here. It's going to be a long live stream video of all the stuff. So we're going to begin with a good movie review. So I just saw this movie yesterday, actually. It's called Elevation. It's an action thriller, suspense, drama movie featuring, what's his name? Anthony Mackie. And what's her name? Morena Baccarin. So she was the girlfriend from oh, don't tell me. She's the girlfriend from Deadpool, the Deadpool movies, and she was also in that Gotham show. If you remember, whoa, was it like 20 years ago? At least I think the Gotham show was on, and she was in that. And Anthony Mackie, I first saw him in the movie She Hate Me. I first saw him in that, and I was like, this movie is crazy. It's about relationships and all kind of stuff or whatever. Drama movie, but then he started getting to the more of the action movies. Of course, Winter Soldier, and then Civil War, anything to do with Captain America. He's a new Captain America now, Falcon, all that kind of stuff. He still does his other movies on the side. He does, they got the Twisted Metal show out that he's in. And he does these little smaller movies every now and then as well. So here they are in this movie. It's another action movie. It's called Elevation. It's about human beings have to live at an elevation of 8,000 feet or more because there are aliens that cannot go past 8,000 feet. They can only go below 8,000 feet, and they are killing humans. These big, giant monster alien things, and they're just chasing humans down, killing them, and doing all that kind of stuff. And they're like invincible. They have these guns, they have these rifles and guns and even grenades and rockets and all this kind of stuff. It does not affect them at all. They have this armored shells and stuff that make them invulnerable. So the movie starts out with them already being in a situation where the aliens are there. It's been 3 years. It's the beginning of the movie, so it's not really spoiling much. But they are just living life in this new dystopia. And Anthony Mackie's character, I don't even know their names, to be honest. Don't even worry about the names. He has a kid who is sick, and when he sleeps at night, he almost dies because his body cannot breathe oxygen at night. So I don't know what condition it is. I'm sure they said it. I'm sure it's bad, and it's really, really bad. It's really, really sad. But it doesn't matter. All we know is it makes Anthony Mackie have to go on this MacGuffin quest to go find this medicine so he can bring it back, and then yay, he saves the day. Well, his character, the girl's character, I remember hers is Nina. Because I thought it was a different name, Nina. You don't hear Nina's a lot. Nina's character is like this fancy doctor or physicist. They said it a couple times, physicist that is trying to create a weapon or a substance of a weapon that can kill these monsters. Along the way, a lot of shenanigans happen. There's a lot of different points of views on what's right and what's wrong. Different points of views on anger and love, loss. They go over loss. Obviously, people die. It's this whole The Last of Us kind of world where you make a noise and then somebody hears it, or survival and all this kind of stuff. I thought it was really good. I thought it was interesting. I thought the concept of making it about the human beings dealing with the world as it is was interesting. This picture right here is a little misleading. It makes it seem like it's some kind of frost Arctic land or something like that. No, it's not. It's all lush green. They show a lot of horses. They show some animals and stuff like that. So it really does happen out into the real world of things. And let me make sure. So here's the trailer for it. I'll just play it in the background. So, I mean, they go ahead and show you right in the movie here, and how these creatures they're deadly. They're in this hospital, this scene right here, and you can see them in the smoke in the background, and it's like they had this light. You see that light it really amps up the suspense in that, oh man, they're about to come get you. It's about to happen. So this is her character here, Nina. She's shooting a bullet. She's testing out her different theories, her different ways she can kill the monsters. I thought it had a good pace. It had a good pacing, good flow throughout the movie. The characters were good. There was different characters, different points of views. Like I said, I thought the threat felt real. I felt the suspense. There was one part actually I jumped. I ain't gonna lie. I jumped a little bit, just one time, and it kind of spooked me a little bit. But you see here, it's like a horse or a lion kind of thing, and it's like galloping. It has like 6 legs. It's galloping. Spoilers. I'm gonna go into spoilers a little bit here. So if you don't want to hear any more about the movie, then you go ahead and cut off. I'll go ahead and say I recommend the movie. It's definitely a good movie. It's a middle of the way good movie. You can go out and watch it. It's not, you and your kids or whatever. It's a family movie. It's a family movie. Let me make sure this thing's looping. Yeah, there we go. It's looping. But I definitely enjoyed it. So now, as far as spoilers, so they kept talking about things with carbon dioxide. And I was like, carbon dioxide, that's like mosquitoes. And they said that, they even said, oh, it's like mosquitoes. But then at another point, it kind of showed the alien on its side after they like knocked it out or something like that. And I was like, it has like these antennae and these feelers and stuff and 6 legs, and it's kind of big. I was like, it's a roach. I was like, it's a giant roach. It's a mutated roach alien thing that's come down, and because I think roaches also detect people through your carbon dioxide that you put off. So I was like, it's a giant roach. It's killing people, and it doesn't care about animals and stuff. It's just the roaches are getting revenge of the roaches or whatever, But then there was this whole thing about the line. Why the line? It's like they put this gimmick in about having a certain line that they can't cross. And it's like, why? So number one, they never explain why. And then number two, they even made the question of like, well, what if they cross the line? It's like, what if one day they decide to change their mind and they cross the line? And it's like, yeah, what about that? Never really talked about that. But lo and behold, you come to the end, and they finally figure out a bullet to kill the roaches. They're not roaches. You come to find out, they shoot them and start attacking them and stuff, and they blow up. And they're robots. There's some kind of drone robot attackers that are just killing people because they were programmed to kill people. You never find out why. You never find out where they came from. You never find out anything about the 8,000 feet. It's almost like there's going to be a sequel or something, and they're just kind of teasing you to watch the sequel because they're going to world build and something bigger. I was just like, I don't know. I think this is enough. I think this is enough. We don't need more. It's kind of like, so the producers of The Purge and Quiet Place made this movie. So just like The Purge and The Quiet Place, they were these perfect little movies for what they were in their worlds. A Quiet Place, it's perfect little, these aliens come down, you don't know the sound. You hear sound, they'll attack you. That's all you know. We didn't really need to know more to make it a good movie. And I'm like, this kind of is doing the same thing. The Purge, one night a week, one night every year, they have a purge. Why? I don't know. It doesn't matter. They're just going to purge. That's all you need to know. It's like these little gimmicks that they put into the movies to make it the big movie. They'll build the entire movie around the little gimmick. And honestly, whoever the producers are, with whatever their studio is or whatever, they're good at this. They're good at making a concept so that you can jump on board and have fun with the craziness. But then my fear is that they're going to try to keep building it out and making it more details. And it's like, we don't really need more details. Good movie. Go check it out. It's out right now. And guess what? It's only like an hour and a half long. That's easy. You can do that. You can watch an hour and a half. You spend an hour and a half watching YouTube channel shows on Pop the Balloons. You watch more on Pop the Balloons than you do on a movie like this. See? There you go. But with that being said, guys, thank you for this for joining me on this review. Please make sure you like the video, share it, subscribe, download, talk about it, share with your friends, hit the notification bell whenever I am doing these reviews. Like I said, I'm going to hit this live stream today, and I'm going to chop this up and send it out so you can see all these other all the other clips and reviews that I'm going to do. And yeah, we'll keep doing this. And on Saturdays, I am doing the me and my cousin Freddie. We're doing Pop the Balloon reviews and other just channel reviews on other videos as well. So make sure you join us for that. That's on Saturdays at about, I would say, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. So till then, see you later. So we're going to pause with that one right there. And we're going to go ahead and set up the next video. Next one is going to be a book review. So welcome back, you guys. Unless you're still here, thank you for sticking around. So now I got a book review for you guys. It's called Tress of the Emerald Sea. It's a cosmic novel by Brandon Sanderson. He's one of my favorite authors right now that's just killing it. He's got a slew of books. I think I've mentioned him before in one of my reviews with the Infall series. Excuse me. The Infall, Kingfall series. And then I have also been reading the Wheel of Time book series as well. This is in that same vein. So Brandon Sanderson has built this huge universe of characters and magical monsters and all kinds of things. And in this universe, there are different worlds where I guess it's like dimensions or realms where the characters can kind of overlap and interact with each other. And in each of these worlds, there's a pantheon of gods that kind of, they were together at some point and they have separated and went to these other realms, and they have, they kind of connect all this universe together in these different books in these different worlds. So this is one of them. This is one of the newest books that he did in his Kickstarter series. He did a Kickstarter series of 4 secret books that he was working on behind the scenes. And Tress of the Emerald Sea is the first one. It's about this girl named Tress. She lives on this island with all her family and these other characters. When her friend, I think it's Charlie, I forget exactly, but she lives there. She's happy, is nice and quaint. And Charlie's like royalty or something. He's a prince. He gets sent away by his weird, evil, maniacal father or something. And she goes to go find him because apparently he gets entangled into this situation with this witch, sorceress lady that apparently is evil, and she just casts spells and curses on people just because she likes it. She has fun doing that. So she's a brave girl. She decides to go out. She stowaways on a ship. And on this ship, that's where the majority of the story takes place. It's a fairly short book. I think it was only about maybe 14, 15 hours worth of a read or a listen if you use Audible. And in it, so she gets on the ship, and spoilers, all this is going to be spoilers. So if you don't want to, I'm not going to spoil it too much, but I definitely have to give some details here. She gets on the ship, she meets some characters, and this is where you get to learn and love some of these characters that's on here. They have a deaf character who I thought it was like, how are you going to do a deaf character in a book? But they really make it interesting with some of the magic that they showcase in the story. There's a particular magic system in here called spores. Apparently, when the spores are come in contact with water or other substances, the spores will grow out like tentacles or like vines, and they'll grow out and like attack people. You know, it can be crazy. Think about a plant that grows like 1,000 times fast. It could like a vine could grow out and puncture you in the eye or stab you in the stomach or something, or just kill you. What if you had a spore seed or something that fell in your mouth? It could be like dust, like little seeds that fly around. What if it fell in your mouth and the water from your tongue hit the spore, and then it could grow out of your face or something and kill you? So in this world, spores are a really violent thing that they come in contact with. And it's even in the sea itself, in the water. So there are different colored seas that have different kinds of spores. Emerald for the green that you see here, the highlight of the book. There's red spores, black spores, crimson, like a rose quartz. It's all kinds of spores and stuff. They do different things. So she comes on the ship. She has to, I mean, she's a young girl. I think she's like 18 or something like that. She has to navigate her way through stowing away on a pirate ship. She deals with the pirate captain. Some of the characters dealing with trust, dealing with being clever. She's a clever girl. She has to be clever, smart. She's still very sweet and sometimes shy in a lot of ways, but then brave in other ways. There's a little bit of action that happens, especially toward the end of the book. There's even more action that shows her cleverness and her smartness. So some of the things just kind of going on the line here. I think the characters are great. Like I said, it's an easy kill of a book to knock out. And I think the pacing is good enough where you can get through it without feeling bored or feeling like, oh, this is taking too long. When is it going to wrap up? I will say at the end of the story, though, a lot of it takes place. So the first part of the book, she's on the island, maybe like 1 or 2 chapters. And then all the chapters happen on the ship. And then maybe like the last 2 chapters, she deals with the sorceress and it wraps everything up. I was like, man, that kind of really sped up at the end there. Maybe like a spore, right? It grew 1,000 times faster. But I would say the characters are great. The pacing was pretty good. The fantastical part of the story was also interesting. I thought it was a different concept that Brandon was playing with here. You can definitely tell this is not one of his strongest stories, but it's probably something he was thinking of. And he was like, I can make a story out of this. Here's 500 pages. And there you go. I'm not gonna add anything else to it. I'm not gonna add any more gods and monsters to it. Just this nice little thing that happened over the course of like a month or 2. And there you go. So I thought it was good. I thought what happened at the end, the way it wrapped up with the solution was nice. And I got to tell you, it got me excited to read the other 3 books in his secret collection that he released. And I definitely highly recommend it. I will say a lot of the stories and the books, I'm just thinking about this, reviews that I do are going to be about stuff that's not that bad. I'm not going to really give you a lot of bad books or stories or movies and stuff on here. Not all the time. I will watch a bad movie or 2 and I'll let you know, but this was definitely a good one. It's definitely a good one. If there was anything bad I would say about it, it was probably that it was not as full as one of his other stories. But I have to say, though, this is probably more like a young adult novel versus the stuff that he usually writes is more of adult-driven novels that are so complex. It's like it can really be a brain buster sometimes. His other novels are like 40-hour books. This is like a 14-hour book. So just saying, it's like I could have used a little bit more or maybe a sequel. Like I said, I liked a lot of the fantastical magic stuff that comes in it. But I was like, maybe it could have had a couple more cool monsters in it. But for what it is, check it out. Yeah, give it a read or a listen. So with that being said, guys, thank you for showing up again. Make sure you like this video, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and check out all the other videos on the channel that is growing. We're at over 1,000 members so far. So thank you so much for coming and listen to me just rant about the books that I like to read and listen to. And yeah, hope you join me for another one. Until next time. All right. So just moving right along. What's the next one? Ooh. All right. Welcome back, guys. And for anyone else that has been sticking around, this is a movie review for Smile 2. Now, this is a good one. I'm going to go ahead and say it right off bat right now. I love this movie. It was great. It's a great movie. It's not a good movie. It's a great movie. Where do I start, man? I don't remember her name. Let me see if I can find her name real quick, because I'm going to talk about her. The main character here. She did a great job. Great job in the role. Naomi Scott. Naomi Scott plays the main character here, Sky Riley. And apparently Scott, I gotta say first, when I went to this movie, I did not know what I was watching. I had to come back out the theater, talk to the clerk. I was like, am I in the right movie? Because this is supposed to be Smile 2, and it looks like some kind of action movie with guns and like a military movie. I don't know what's going on. And she was like, yeah, that's the movie. So I went back in, and then the movie was already into it. It was like, oh, I should have just sat here and been patient because it starts in a weird way. And I'm guessing what it was doing, it was connecting this movie to the first movie. Because so what happens is the premise of Smile 2 is continuing from Smile 1, and in Smile, there's a new monster character that we're dealing with. It's some kind of evil demon thing that it's almost like an STD. It's like it passes from person to person. So if you see this person that's infected by this demon, the demon will smile and then he'll kill himself. And then if you watch that person kill himself, that demon now attaches itself to you, and over the next 7 days, you'll go crazy. You'll do things that make you feel like you're crazy. And at the end of the 7 days, the demon will infect your body and make you kill yourself in front of somebody else. So it keeps going as a loop. So with that being said, she apparently, right at the beginning of the movie, she is an entertainer, kind of like your Lady Gaga kind of thing. She wears crazy outfits and she does the entertaining. She sings and all this kind of stuff. And she had an accident that happened a year prior, and she's been going through a lot of like celebrity stuff, like drugs and, death and everything like that. And she's trying to reinvent herself so that she can get back on the limelight. And in the middle of that, the way she's trying to do is with this big concert, this big tour concert. And she has to get herself together. She has to get her mind right, do everything right. And she goes one night just to kind of have a little piece of her own. And she goes to a friend of hers to get some pills or whatever to calm down. And what she does, it's in the trailers. Actually, you know what? Let me bring up the trailer. When she does this, the friend kills himself. That's the highlight of the trailer. And when he kills himself, now the demon has infected her. So she's trying to maintain her life in these next 7 days. She's going to do these rehearsals and all this kind of stuff, but she's traumatized not only by the death, but now this demon is making her feel crazy. And what's crazy about it, is that even though she's going through all this stuff and she's trying to maintain her sanity, she's trying to just chalk it up and just do what she's got to do. It's like, this is the friend killing himself right here in front of her. Even when she tries to just hold it together no matter what, it's like she's seeing illusions and things are happening that's not happening. And for her, it's so real. And for me, I was like, man, I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about it. Like, it was this one scene where this guy was standing in the hallway, and he's like, she's looking, and all his clothes are down the hallway, like he's been taking his clothes off, and it's real dark. And at the end of the hallway, you can see him just standing there naked, and he's just looking at her. He's like, and it's like, as soon as you move, he's gonna run. And he starts running. He's like, and I was like, oh my god. It's like, yo, that was a lot, man. That is a lot. And the smiling, the intensity, the crazy, everything about this movie was so intense. This is horror. This is how you do a thriller, horror, suspense movie. You don't have to do a bunch of like satanic stuff and possessions and all kind of stuff. Just give me the crazy. Give me the crazy, and that's all you got to do. Make me feel like I am in this and I will be afraid for my life. And that's what it did. Naomi Scott, she is a great actress. What is this? Oh, this is somebody else's review for Smile 2. So let's loop that. I thought her acting was great. Naomi Scott, she played in Aladdin, that Aladdin movie that came out 7 years ago, the live action. She was the princess. I forget her name. You have Aladdin, you have Apu, you have Genie, you have Carpet, Sultan, Princess Jasmine. She's Jasmine. She played Jasmine in Aladdin, and she did good there too. So she can actually sing. So she sung in Aladdin, and she was singing in this too. And I thought she was great. I felt the energy. I felt the pain. I felt the horror in her. Even right there, you see it in her face. You see it in her eyes. So that's the characters. The story was great. I think as a sequel, not only did it keep the same suspense and intensity from the first movie, which was also a fantastic movie, it built out on the world. It made you understand a little bit more of what the monster is, and it showed you what it can do. It can do more than you thought. And I thought the pacing was good. So there was actually one thing I didn't like about the movie. If I had to say one thing, there was a lot of instances where I think she was trying so hard to hold on to her sanity that she wasn't taking what was happening to her seriously enough. At a certain point, you have to be like, okay, that was weird. Did y'all see that? And it's like, no. It's like, okay, I need to go and find somebody to help me because this is not going to happen. I would have done that maybe like after the second time, but it took like maybe 4 or 5 different big things happening before she would actually like say, no, this is not right. And then even once she did realize what was happening to her with the monster and everything, she still was making some decisions. I was like, why would you do that? But then you have to come back around and understand that she is mentally not right. Even from the beginning of the movie, right here at the beginning, before she even got infected with these monsters, her mind wasn't right to begin with. You see a year prior when the tragedy happened with the death, her mind wasn't right even then either. She was making some really bad decisions. I was like, this girl is crazy. So add crazy onto horror crazy, and you just get all kinds of crazy, you know? So the story was great. And so even that part, as far as her decisions can be explained, the color, the lighting, the shots, the creativity with the shots was awesome. I will say some of the smiles weren't as good as they could have been. Some of them were great. You know, if you can do the smile, you get the big smile. Some people couldn't pull it off as well. It wasn't really using the cheeks, engage the cheeks. But other than that, man, I don't know what else to say. But go see it. This is a classic movie. This is a fantastic movie. It's probably going to go into my top 5. It's definitely in my top 10. I don't know if I can even... I don't know, man. My top 5 is really filling up. I'm going to have to really play with this and figure it out. But highly recommend. Fantastic movie. Go check it out. I think it's still in theaters right now, actually. But with that being said, thank you for joining me for this video. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, check it out, hit the notification bell, share it, comment, give me feedback. I love feedback. And check out the channel for more videos coming. I got plenty coming out. I'm going to try to make sure that we don't miss any days and we do something every day. So with that being said, thank you for joining me and stick around for the next review. All right. So the next movie we got here is Piece by Piece by Pharrell. So this is a live action. No, it's not a live action. It's a Lego movie. We've seen Lego movies before. We had Lego Movie 1, we had Lego Movie 2, and we had Lego Batman. And now we have Lego Piece by Piece by Pharrell. So this movie is just a documentary, basically, but instead of having a live action, just straight through documentary, he's using animation through Legos to tell his story of how he became Pharrell, how he became the person that he is today, this ultra mega music producer. So it starts out how him and Chad Hugo kind of met. Even before that, how he came up just having this sixth sense for music and how he just kind of like expressed that. Then he met Chad Hugo, and some other things I really learned in this movie too was light spoilers, but apparently he came up under who was it? Blackstreet, Teddy Riley. He came up under Teddy Riley. I did not know that. So I was born in '88. So by the time he was coming up and he was going through all this stuff, I was just a baby. I was just learning a lot of these things that's in this, that came in this movie. And Teddy Riley, Rex and Effects, all I want to do is the zoom, 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 and the boom, boom. Just shake your rump shaker. That's pretty cool. I did not know that. Stuff that's already out there, you just didn't know, and you got to hear it in one of these movies to make it make sense. So, it just goes through his life. It goes through all the aspects, all the different people he worked with. A few people I knew he worked with was Mystikal, Jay-Z, Snoop Dogg, and I knew he worked with those folks, and they actually did highlight all of them. They didn't really talk about Mystikal as much. I kind of figured they weren't going to do that because Mystikal stayed in trouble. I don't know why Mystikal can't stay out of trouble, but he just stays beating up women, assaulting women, and doing all this stuff. So it is what it is. But they did play a song, the Shake It Fast, but watch yourself. They did do a thing. They showed Eclipse. Did they show Eclipse? I think they showed Eclipse too. They did talk about Pusha T a lot. Pusha T was in it. See, that was my first time ever hearing about Pharrell was Eclipse, the grinding. So this movie is full, it's chock full of all the music, all the cameos. They have a really, really great way of showing all the cameos. Let me just refresh this because I already know what it's gonna do. They have a really great way of showing all the music and incorporating it. I knew he did Banana. Well, I don't know. I did not know he did Bananas. But apparently he made the song Banana, or he produced Bananas a few times being around that chat. So it's not just going to happen like that because there ain't no Holla Back Girl. He did Holla Back Girl. He did, I knew he worked with Daft Punk with Lucky. I was like, when you gonna show it? It wasn't like toward the end of the movie they talked about Daft Punk. But then I was like, I don't know how much of Daft Punk they're really gonna talk about because even they have broken up now. I mean, they've been out for like over 20, almost 30 years. And it was about time, they broke up a couple years ago because they're done. They did all this stuff and they made four albums. And I think they did a soundtrack for Tron or something like that. And they've worked with different people. So by the time they got to it, they kind of glossed over it. They played the song Get Lucky, and that was pretty much it. Snoop Dogg, they talked about the big, I remember when Snoop Dogg's song came out, Drop It Like It's Hot. It's like, Snoop. They did that. They showed this right. That's right there. That right there is he was doing like drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot. I was like, oh snap, they did it. They did it. They did this cool thing too with the Legos where they had, when he was building a beat or building a song, he would use the Legos. He would show it physically. He'd be like, okay, when I make this beat, I put this little Lego here and I put this here. And he's like, hey, here's my beat. And it's like this little Lego thing with lights and stuff on it. And he was like, oh, I got all these beats. And you go into this room and he had these little Lego light up pieces all over the place. And it was like, these are all my ideas. Have some of them in a vault and some of them I haven't given out yet. And he would play a couple of them. And then he'd be like, hey, listen to this when you get home. Don't listen to it until you get home. And then the beat would come on and he would open it up and it's like this beat and the beat is like jumping up and down. It was pretty good. It was pretty cool. He worked with all these people and he had a couple new songs in here I never heard of before. But now, so as far as the story, it wasn't really a story per se. I mean, it's a documentary about his life. I don't know if there was anything that they really glossed over necessarily or that they left out, because I didn't really know a lot of those things about Pharrell to begin with. So this was just me sitting here listening. And I hate documentaries. But if you can do a documentary, this is how you do it. This is how you autobiography your life. Use animation. Make it interesting. Make it fun. Put the colors up there. Shake the keys. Shake the keys in front of me so I can, key, like do something to make it fun. And he did. Characters, I mean, Pharrell, he's always an interesting guy. Every time he pops up, I think he does good. He hasn't done a lot of bad stuff that I would say that I hated. Everything he's done has been interesting. That's the beat right there. Everything he's done has been interesting to me. So it was really fun to see this, to watch it and to learn about him and his beats and his life and his creativity. He really reminded me of myself, honestly. I always thought I was different. I always thought that I had ideas that nobody understood. The way I think, nobody understood. And it seems like he went through it and he lived it. He lived his dream. He pushed, and he got there. And people appreciated him for it. So after watching this, I hope I can do the same, and I hope I can live up to something like what he did. It just really hit home for me. I really enjoyed this movie. It was good. It's definitely a family movie. I think a family movie that a lot of people can take their kids to have fun with, and parents and other like. I think it's really made for me and my generation, honestly, us 80s babies. Even the 90s babies too will probably definitely appreciate Pharrell. But that's pretty much it. Not much else to say about it. But guys, thank you for showing up. Thank you for watching the video and listening to me just ramble on about this stuff. Make sure you like the video, share it, subscribe, comment, and talk about it with your friends. Talk about music. What's your favorite Pharrell song? Put that down below. Let me know. Check me out on the next video. And let's see what the next video is. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. So, nope. Where are you at? Nope. I'm kind of showing you all my stuff here, but that's okay. I want to get Terrifier 3. Terrifier 3. This is the movie I just saw in the theaters maybe about 2 weeks ago. Oh boy. So, where do I start with Terrifier 3? Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another movie review for you, Terrifier 3. Terrifier. I don't know what to say to this. I'm gonna try my best. The Terrifier movie trilogy series in general. I'm just gonna go over all of them really a little bit. So mild spoilers. You're probably not gonna watch this anyway. even if I do spoil it or don't spoil it. So I saw the Terrifier movie that came out a couple years ago, and I didn't know what it was. I was like, man, I ain't watching this B movie or whatever. And then Terrifier 3 came out this last month. And I was like, oh, they got a third Terrifier. It must be doing pretty good. Okay. And it was my wife. Me and my wife were looking at it. It was, oh, it's Terrifier. It looks cool. It looks like a scary movie, horror movie, whatever. We might go see it. But then I went home to visit my mom a couple weeks ago, and my brother was like, oh, I want to see the Terrifier. Let's watch the first 2 Terrifiers. So we sat down and watched the first Terrifier. He fell asleep, but then my mom and I watched it, and it was a lot. The first Terrifier was a lot. It was definitely a B movie, low budget. It's about this clown guy, and he's a mute. He's kind of like a mime or whatever, but he's carrying around this trash bag, and it's very comical. It's very funny because his name is Art. He's Art the Clown, and he does all these very expressive like things. He's like, and all this kind of stuff. So he's very silly and funny, but then he kills you. He just comes up with this axe and he just starts chopping away at people. And the thing about this movie, all the gore and all this stuff you're seeing, all this blood and everything, they show all of it. They show the person screaming like, and he's like chopping them up, like, and his, like blood is spouting out and stuff. I'm like, oh, it's that kind of movie. These movies are so bad. They're not even. I think I heard somewhere that it's not even called. It's not even called like gore anymore. It's called splatter. It's like splatter movies where they're just splattering your blood and guts all over the place, and they show all of it. So the first one was really bad. The second one was really, really bad. And it shows like he's like cutting these people up. Like he had this one woman in the first movie upside down, spoilers. And he took a chainsaw, I think. Was it a chainsaw? Hacksaw. He took a hacksaw and he just cut her up. He's like from the vagina. Yeah, from the vagina. He's like, she's like, he cut her. Now, you have to understand, you can't just hold somebody up and upside down and just cut them in half with a hacksaw. It's not going to happen. You need a lot stronger power tools to cut somebody up. But I think it's the whole point is to show off the artistry of the puppets that they use and just the creativity of the artistry, and I guess the gore. Some people might be into it. It's really bloody. But the first one was just for killing people. And they do introduce a girl in there. I forget her name, is like Lindsay or something maybe. And she was actually a victim of the Terrifier, but she survived. And he actually, what he does, he'll kill some people just to kill them. And for like this girl, for others, he starts eating them. He was eating her face and mutilating her. And she survived at the end of the movie, but then I guess she became crazy. And later on in the second movie, she shows back up and he possesses her or something. And by the end of the second movie, there's more gore and killing and stuff. They're like a team duo. So that's her right there, actually. Like I said, major spoilers. So with that being said, also in the second movie, they set up a storyline where this girl and her brother are actually fighting against the Terrifier here. And for certain circumstances, I think it was Halloween or something, and she goes out, the daughter goes out and tries to have a good time, but the brother has an argument with the mom, and he leaves, but he comes home and is Terrifier, and he survives it, but they fight. Anyways, they show up in the third movie. So that's where this comes in. So now, okay, skip maybe? So in the third movie, the brother and sister are back. Her name is Senza. That was a little glimpse of Terrifier 2. So Terrifier 3, that's her right there. She's back and she's joining her other family, like her cousin or something like that, in her family. And the brother, he's grown up a little bit now. He's in college or something like that. And there's all these people in the movie, and They're like the sex scene here. The Terrifier comes and he finds them and he busts it open and he gets a chainsaw and he starts cutting them up right there in the bath. That's what this is right here in the bathroom. And it's like he's very expressive. He's like, boop. And it's just like, what? This is horrible. And a lot of stuff happens. Yeah, this right here, he's mall Santa. He's got blood all over him, and he gives presents out to kids. Stuff happens. That part right there, that was funny. Oh, this is the beginning of the movie where he gets a axe and he starts chopping up the family while they're in the bed. It's a lot, man. And they show all of it. He mutilates the kids. He mutilates the friends and the parents, and he chops them up, and it's just a lot. So a lot of people aren't going to like this kind of stuff. I got to say, it was hard for me to even watch a lot. I was like, oh, man, like the whole time. I will say it's one of those movies. It's just meant to be dumb. I want to say fun, but I can't even say fun. It's just meant to be dumb, and you're just meant to watch it for the action. I would say it's a family movie. And it's trying to be funny with the gore on purpose. Like they cut off dicks, they cut people in half, cut the arms off, and watch them walk away and stuff. It's a lot, man. They try to have a little bit of story with the brother and the sister, and that there's like a savior complex, like the Last Girl kind of movies. Where almost like the Halloween, like how Laurie Strode, I think, was fighting against Mike Myers. She was the last girl and survived all the movies and stuff. It's kind of like that, where she survived it and she's trying to kill him. He's a supernatural force or something or whatever. But so characters, I mean, they're dumb. It is what it is. Story. It's dumb. Overall great special effects. All prosthetics, all fake. Everything is fake. There is no CG in this movie. Everything you see was all handmade, or it's fake blood. It's in this fake prosthetic arms and faces and puppets and stuff like that. So 10 out of 10 on that. But overall movie, I don't know where to put it. I want to say for what it's trying to do, it's a fantastic movie. Now, as far as people watching it even one time or rewatching it again, it's really not even on the scale. I would not recommend this for a lot of people. I don't know what to say, man. I wouldn't recommend it to a lot of people. But for those who have the stomach for it, highly recommend, maybe. But yeah, and I think there might be a Terrifier 4. There's going to be a Terrifier 4, so look out for that. But that's all I got on this one, guys. Make sure you like the video, share it, subscribe, comment. Have you seen the Terrifier? Let me know. Put it in the comments down below. Hit the notification bell and join me again for more videos up next, and check out the channel for any more. Terrifier. Oof. All right. Welcome back, everyone, for another review. And this one is going to be Venom Last Dance, or Venom 3. So we follow Eddie Brock and his symbiote, not symbiote. I don't know why they said that crap in the first movie. It's not symbiote. It's symbiote. This is a popular character from the Spider-Man comics, TV show, movies, and all kind of stuff. And he's one of Spider-Man's major arch nemesis. But he's an anti-hero now. He's not really evil. He's just an evil guy that saves people sometimes, but he still kills people too. And Eddie Brock has always been a cool character because he's kind of conflicted. Even in the Spider-Man, I grew up with a cartoon show. That's how I learned all my Spider-Man lore. In the cartoon show, Eddie Brock is a rival journalist, journalist in the newspaper company that Spider-Man works for, that Peter Parker works for. But he has very unethical ways of getting the job done, whereas Peter Parker's always been straightforward and all kind of stuff. So because of that, he's had a rivalry with Peter Parker. Well, in the Venom movies, Peter doesn't even exist. He's been doing his own thing. So ever since the first movie, Venom has just been his own creature, his own kind of thing. And I think the first one was really good. The second one was all right. It had Carnage in it. Carnage is a secondary offspring of Venom, and he's always been like more savage and more psychopathic and all kind of stuff. But in Venom 3, none of that matters. This is all new movie. It's a road trip movie. So light spoilers. So basically we start out with Eddie Brock, and he just comes back into the universe from the multiverse that he fell in. And come to find out that there is some kind of super symbiote god out there that is looking for a codex. And this codex, and I'll explain here in a second, is some kind of magical key that will let him free of his prison on his planet. So he sends out these little alien sentinel drones to go and find him. They can go through portals and go and find him and stuff like that. So whenever Eddie Brock and becomes Venom, full-fledged Venom suit, that's when I guess there's some kind of codex that appears on the back of his neck or something, and these creatures, these drones, can come out and find him instantly, and they're powerful, so he can't beat them by himself. So Venom goes on to explain that there's a super god named Null, looking for a codex. Codex is like a genetic reaction that happens whenever one of these symbiotes, like Venom, merges with Eddie Brock and brings him back to life. So I guess in the last movie, Eddie Brock and Eddie in Venom 2, I guess he was stabbed through the stomach or something, and when he was dying, Venom merged with him and healed him back up. And because he did that and brought him back to life, I guess it created a chemical reaction called a codex. And this is the thing that will let Null be free. It's the MacGuffin. Well, so in order to hide themselves, they just have to prevent themselves from going full Venom mode. To me, I'm like, okay, basically you're telling me that you can't show Venom the entire movie, so you're going to give us little Venom forms. And so Venom was like, I can do this. He can make his head come out. He's like, I can do this. He can make a tentacle come out. I can do this. He can make like a blade come out, and that's it. But he's like, but we can't go full Venom mode. And I was like, okay, you're trying to save money on CG. I get it. So they go on this road trip to go and find this place, and I think it's Area 51 or something, and I forget why, but they're just trying to run away from the monster. And by the end of the movie, there's a lot of stuff happens. It's a superhero movie. Big action set piece, stuff was blowing up. They have a bunch of other symbiotes that come out, different colors. There's a pink one, green one, yellow one, all this kind of stuff or whatever. So I saw the movie. I didn't like it as much as I thought I was going to like it. So I would say this was an okay movie to not bad. It was somewhere between okay and not bad. It's just okay. It's just okay. I wouldn't see this again. Well, I'll probably watch it again just so I can reconfirm some things, or maybe watch the whole trilogy again or something. But so I have some problems with this. So throughout the movie, okay, we're going to go right into spoilers right now. So let's go with characters first. Characters. I thought Eddie was, there was a lot of comedy in this, where it's just a lot of like goofy. Venom was just being goofy a lot of the times, and Eddie, he's dealing with it. He's like, oh man, come on. It's like, Venom, don't do that. Oh boy. It's like a buddy cop movie kind of thing. Venom, he's like this fish out of water still, where he's like, Eddie, I want to do this, Eddie. Oh, fun, Eddie. Oh, I need to eat some heads. Oh, I'm just like, okay. This isn't Venom. Venom from the cartoon show, man. He was dark. He was evil. He was like, I want to kill Peter Parker no matter what. I will crush all my enemies, and then you will help me do it, Eddie. You know, it was kind of like that. This was like, it was kind of sad, man. It was sad to see how he okay. Gotta get rid of the ad here. It was just sad to see how he acted in this whole thing. But then, so still sticking with the characters, that was Eddie. Venom, silly. But then there was some decisions they made in the movie, like this right here. They were trying to get to like Los Angeles or Nevada or something, Las Vegas, and they were like, "Oh, we gotta go," and they just get on this plane. Instead of getting on the plane, he decides to fly on the outside of the plane. He goes full Venom mode, and then when he does, that's when this giant creature comes up, and you saw on the plane and attacks him. And he's like, "Oh snap! That's one of those drone creature things." And this is right here where he's explaining. He's like, "Oh, so basically these people they're looking for us, and this is going to happen. They're looking for us, so we can't go full Venom mode." But then later on, when they get to Las Vegas, Venom is like, "Oh, it's the Asian lady. I forget her name, Miss Chen or something like that. She's just there. Why is she there? I don't know. She's there. She's on vacation, right?" But then when they get together, all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, I got to dance with Miss Chen," and they start dancing. And he goes full Venom mode. And I'm like, but you know that if you go full Venom mode, that the monster can find you. And that's what happens. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Why did they do that? It doesn't make any sense. And then the Codex, I got to explain, right? With the Codex, it's a chemical reaction that happens whenever one of the Venom or symbiotes say it brings a human being that's about to die, it heals them from brink of death. Well, at the end of the movie, when all the Venom, there's a bunch of symbiotes. Apparently, they've been capturing like 6 or 7 different symbiotes, and all these drones show up to attack him and stuff. And Venom is there, and he's fighting and stuff. So he's got the Codex. Well, these monsters, these drones, end up killing. Like they attack some of the guards and security guards, some of the doctors and stuff, and they attack them. They're about to die, and one of the symbiote like oozes, like gets on the person, like a pink one will get on the person and fuse with them. I was like, oh, that's a Codex. But no, it's not. I guess it can only be one Codex at a time. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. You're breaking your own rules in your own movie. It doesn't even, you just explained that, and now you're already breaking your own rules. So I give a movie 3 chances. You get 3 chances of, okay, I will believe whatever you just told me, no matter what. But every chance I give you, it's going to bring the movie down. And by the time, if you use all 3 chances or more, then it's a bad movie. So that was the first thing. No. The first one was just all the silliness in the movie. That was the first chance. I was like, okay, I guess Venom's going to be silly. The second was the bad decisions, as far as like, why would you go full Venom mode when you know that's going to happen? Why would you get on a plane when you know that's going to happen? Why would you dance with Miss Chen when you know that's going to happen? Why would you do this? Why wouldn't you do that? So that was the second time. The third time was the Codex. It's like all these people just died and they brought back to life, and now you're saying they're not Codex, but that is a Codex? I was like, that's weird. And then the fourth time it happened was Noel was the main villain that made all this stuff happen in the first place. He just sits there and he talks. He's like, yes, I will get the Codex or whatever. And that's all he does in the whole movie. He never moves. He never does anything else. He doesn't use any powers or nothing. He just talks. So that was the fourth. It's like, so maybe it is a bad movie, man. I think it's a bad movie. It's not good. Does it have action? Yes. You can probably just turn your brain off and go watch it. But when you start thinking about some of the stuff that the movie itself says and does, it's stupid and it doesn't make sense. It's a bad movie. It's a bad movie. And they never put the spider thing on the front, too. That sucks, man. That's Venom. But anyways, there's a lot of plot points that don't go anywhere. There's a doctor in here that has a lot of flashbacks. Um, I didn't really understand why we needed to know more information about her, why she was so important. Um, yeah, it's I wouldn't recommend seeing it. I wouldn't recommend it. It's the third movie in the trilogy, so maybe you want to wrap up the story. There's that, but it doesn't really add anything. So the pacing was fine. The characters were didn't impress me. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Maybe they'll reboot this at some point. Maybe 10 years from now, we get a better Venom movie that actually has him with Spider-Man or something. But it's the best Venom we got so far. But that's all I got for this, guys. But please share your comments down below. Let me know what you thought if you saw the movie. What would you have rather seen Venom do? Would you want to see some other symbiote, some other storylines or something? Did you think it was a good movie? Maybe I'm just wrong. I don't know. But be sure to like the video, share it, subscribe, comment down below, and join me for some more reviews. Till next time. All right, everyone. Welcome back to, this is probably going to be the last review I do for the night. This is about the movie Heretic. I just saw this last weekend, last Thursday, and it's starring, what's his name? It says November 28th, but that's not right. It came out last week, like November 2nd or something like that. But it stars Hugh Grant and a few other folks. It's a couple girls. One of the girls was actually the daughter from Old. I recognized her. I was like, oh, that's the Old girl. And Hugh Grant. And basically, it's a thriller movie about religion. And I'm gonna go ahead and just go to the trailer here. I think we can do that. So it's a movie about these two girls. They're Mormons. Church of Latter-day Saints. That's Mormon, right? I mean, Church of Latter-day Saints. Let me speak correctly now. I don't want to. Yes, Mormons. I thought so. So basically, these two girls, they're out in the missionary. They're going around talking to folks, doing door knocks, responding to people who said they want more information. So this guy is definitely one of them. The girl on the right, the girl in the pink is definitely, she's bubbly. She's less experienced. She's always been in the church her whole life. And the girl in the black was converted, and she's definitely been through some experiences. But they're both out together, and they're visiting this guy who said he wanted more information. And light spoilers, I won't give all this stuff away. But they try to stick to their morals and what they've learned, and that you don't be in a house with a man unless there's a woman present. But they kind of they don't break the rule. He lies to them and says, "Oh, my wife is back here." So they come into the house, and they're like, "Where's your wife?" And they have a lot of witty banter and stuff. And eventually, it starts getting really tense. They start talking about some really tense stuff. So they keep asking for the wife, and he goes in the back room. They try to leave. They're like, "Okay, we got to get out of here." Come to find out, they can't, because he's not a bad person, but he's like weird, right? It's like, man, what's going on with this guy? And this door is locked. I mean, they go and talk to him. It's like, yeah, you're going to play my game. And a lot of stuff happens. He does a lot of explanations about religion, his views on religion. He's basically challenging them on their views on religion. So he's a heretic, right? That's why the movie's called Heretic. But with that being said, you see from a lot of the scenes and stuff here, that's a really good imagery right there, by the way. There's some really crazy suspense stuff. It's not horror necessarily. It's thriller suspense. You're like, oh my gosh, what's about to happen? And things happen. So I gotta say, this was definitely this was a good movie. It was a good movie. It's very interesting. Kind of a slow burn a little bit. A lot of talking. If you're not a kind of person who can sit and listen to a lot of talking and explanations, then it's going to put you to sleep. You're going to be bored. You're not going to like it. But if you really sit down and listen to what they're saying, listen to what Hugh Grant's character is talking about, and watch how they respond and how they react, I think you will find a really cool and, like I said, interesting movie that you can take something away from. Whether you are a not misogynist, whether you're atheist or agnostic, or you're highly religious to Judaism, Christianity, Muslim. They talk about Muslim in here, Mormon. That's the main thing they talk about, really. I think you'll find something that you take away from and be like, that was cool. That was interesting. I heard what they said with that. I thought the acting was great. The acting for all the characters. There's about 4 main characters you'll see in this movie. And I thought it was very interesting. I thought it was worth the watch. I don't think this is anything Oscar worthy, but I think Hugh Grant plays his part. He has the charm. He has the expression. He makes you feel like, I agree with that guy. I kind of like that guy too. He's kind of scary. I don't want to be anywhere around him. But then in the next moment, you'd be like, okay, I kind of like that guy again. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, he's evil. I remember now. Yeah, he's evil. The girls, they're pretty cool too. They make some decisions that I would also have made. I would have been trying to get out of there. I'm like, man, can you please open the door? I'm trying to get out of here. You're kind of crazy. I'm going to call somebody real quick. It can be like that. A lot of stuff happens. There's a couple of plot twists. I tried to predict the ending, but I couldn't quite pinpoint what exactly they were trying to say. But then when they said it, I was like, I agree with it, because I thought the same thing. I've seen other movies explain the same concept without as much talking. And I'll give you a little hint. This is kind of a spoiler, but I'll give you a little hint. If you've ever seen the movie The Book of Eli, that's what this movie is talking about. So, yeah, highly recommend this one too. If you can deal with talking. If you can't deal with talking, you're not going to like it. I think it was short. It was only about 1 hour and 45 minutes. So you can definitely eat this one up and go about your day pretty easily. Characters were good. Story was good. The length was good. It's very dark. Everywhere's dark, but there's a reason for that. I don't know if there's much else to talk about with this one. Go check it out. It's in the movie theaters right now. It just came out this past week. A24 knows what they're doing, man. A24 is a company, I think, is going to be like the next Disney for like horror movies or something, you know? So with that being said, thank you again for joining me for a review. This is the last one for the night. I'll be setting up more videos to post throughout. Definitely check me out for this weekend on Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard for rough reviews for a Pop the Balloon review with Closet Anime. And make sure you like this video, share, subscribe, comment down below. Have you seen this movie? What do you think about horror suspense? Not to get too much into religion talk or anything like that, but I would love to see what people have to say about this movie as far as their religion and what is said about your belief. And yeah, I think that's about it. So thank you for joining me for this long stream. I'll be posting all of these separately so you can watch them separately later on. But I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you had fun with it. And if you like seeing this, hit the like video and let me know. Comment down below and let me know that you like this kind of stuff. I'll keep doing it. If you don't like it, then I'll stop doing it. How about that? But yeah, until next time, see you later.